Hey everyone, Simon here. So I'm getting a lot of questions about which stablecoin to stay in for the moment, which exchange to buy on, etc., because everyone is obviously spooked with what happened with FTX. And there have been a lot of people that basically put their life savings at FTX because they thought it was the safest thing since sliced bread. Even Kevin O'Leary said that. And this now leaves us in a tricky situation where there is no actual correct answer here. So, for example, if you're scared of Tether or USDD going bust because USDD is only collateralized 50% at the moment, which stablecoin do you go into? You don't necessarily want to go into Circle or USDC because every single time you go into USDC, the IRS basically has full optics on basically everything you do, so I tend to stay away from USDC. Not that I'm doing anything illegally, but I just value privacy in that respect. So I think at the moment the safest thing to do is to go into BUSD, so the Binance stablecoin, which is issued by Paxos. Now, where do you then put it? So personally, in my opinion, I think the safest thing to do is to get a custom RPC on your MetaMask, so you can get the BEP20 network on your MetaMask. Make sure that MetaMask is secured by a Trezor or a Ledger. I prefer Trezor. And then ping that BUSD off onto your MetaMask. And then leave it there. So that's, I think personally, that's probably the safest thing to do. Another thing you could do, which is also quite safe, is actually send your funds to Kraken and then convert your stablecoins, Tether, whatever, into USD or Euro or Pound Sterling. Now, the problem with that is that you're going to be paying a fair bit in fees and trading fees, just converting your stables into fiat. But the reason it's somewhat safer is that actual fiat currency that's stored on Kraken is stored differently, so it's treated like actual money within, like a bank would. They have the same security procedures as a bank would store money, so it's somewhat safe there. So when you do want to come in and buy, you simply convert USD into Tether or whatever stablecoin and just buy ETH or Bitcoin. That's one way. Another way is just go full on fiat, but it's a bit of a chore. Now the problem is if you go down my route, so BUSD on a MetaMask, is that when the time comes to buy Bitcoin at 13,000 or 8,000 or whatever the hell it spikes down into, that eventual low, if you're going to try and bottom pick, is going to be fast. That spike, there will be a spike low, and it will be fast, and most of us will miss it out. I always miss the spike lows, always, literally always. So let's say we have a spike low down to 10, and we get a nice opportunity to accumulate, say 13, 14k Bitcoin. Obviously, I'm not going to be buying Bitcoin. I'll be buying alts, but just using Bitcoin as a barometer here. Now, you could. So the issue when the time comes there is that I'm in BUSD. There's not enough depth or liquidity with BUSD as there is for Tether, let's say, and you still then have to send your BUSD back into an exchange like Binance. So I would, famous last words, but I would say Binance is the strongest exchange on the planet right now because it has no debt, and CZ is ex-Wall Street. He's switched on. And I don't think he's going to fall into the same loopholes as in idiot moves like FTX did and Sam Bankman-Fried. So I think they're pretty safe, but there is an element where you will have to basically open yourself up to third-party counter risk, i.e. when you send your stables back to Binance to try and buy the dip. The issue is that Binance can be an absolute douchebag and go, oh, we're just processing your transfer. And there have been times where I've sent money from my MetaMask to my spot wallet, and I've done it loads of times, and they've held on to my money for a few hours. And even though on the blockchain the transaction has gone through, it's still not showing up in the spot wallet in Binance. So that's one thing you need to be aware of. But at the same time, I don't really want to store shitloads of stable coins and just sat there on Binance. So one alternative you could do is keep everything in your MetaMask, and when you want to buy the dip, just use GMX. Go to GMX. You then have to convert, or it's not compatible with BUSD, so you're going to have to swap it out using Curve or something to tether temporarily, and then buy Bitcoin or ETH, etc. spot. Now the cool thing with GMX is that you don't get slipped. So they use an oracle, so it takes a rough average price using its oracle, which I think is Link that they do, as in Chainlink. And let's say the price is $1,300. 13,000. Even if you wanted to buy, say, $10 million worth of Bitcoin at 13,000, you won't get slipped. You will literally just get that full whack at that price. Whereas if you tried to buy millions on Binance at a certain price, you'll just gobble up all that order book. So yeah, so this doesn't really help. I'm just giving you some options. It really depends on your risk tolerances and profiles and whatnot. Whether you're happy to leave it on Binance or just use GMX. The trade fees are wildly expensive compared to Binance, but it's your call. Personally, I think I will just be doing a mix of the both because I've got stuff spread everywhere, so I don't have everything in one place. So I may elect to send a little bit to Binance, buy some on GMX, etc., etc. So hope this helps. Toodles, bye.